Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's an NFL draft special. Today, we're going to highlight a player out of the University of Alabama. His name is Josh Jobe. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And joining me to outline this young man's career and all the cornerback positions in the 2022 NFL draft, as we got more quarterbacks coming up in the weeks ahead, is my man. He started the tradition at Florida State University. That's right. There was nowhere to be found on the map. But in 1977, he brought this great program to a level that you see it today, national champions. Then he was a first-round pick in the 1981 NFL draft by the hometown team, Atlanta Falcons. But this is the most telling statistic that people need to understand. He played 12 years in the league, which is unbelievable, and it's a blessing. My man, Mr. Bobby Butler. How you doing this morning, sir, here on 100 Yards of Football?
Good morning, Vincent. I'm doing great, man. Awesome to be here talking about this young man today.
Okay, Josh Jobe, cornerback out of University of Alabama. If you like the video, please come in and share it. Well, Bobby, we're finna turn the heat up because I know you got a lot of great things to say about this man because Josh Jobe is from the city of Miami. The 305.
What can I say?
So tell us what makes this young man so special. Why he's the first round pick?
Well, Vincent, you just hit it on the head. You open it up, hit it on the head. He from the 305. And y'all know what that means, right? I mean, this young man grew up in the streets of Miami playing football. And I'm telling you, you know the advantage we got in South Florida, Vincent. We play football year round.
Yes, sir.
We don't play basketball. We play football. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now we have some decent basketball talent come along, but overall, we're a football state, hands down. Sir. Hey, listen, man, this guy, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's from Miami. Out of high school, he was a 4-star athlete. He committed to the U in the beginning, and then he flipped and he signed with the University of Alabama. Josh played his freshman year. Now, I want y'all to hear everything I'm about to say. Think about the program at the University of Alabama. He played in 14 games as a reserve his true freshman year. He played in 12 games with 2 starts his sophomore season, and it ended in a Citrus Bowl where he was a starter. And in his junior year, he was named the starter at cornerback, all right, alongside this guy named Patrick Surtain, number 2, the second, right? And so let's talk about, we can talk about everything. I'm going to say this real quick about Josh. He's an extremely physical corner, and he's got that alpha mentality. In other words, y'all, he got that dog in him, right? That every coach admire when they're recruiting football players. And listen, he plays for the University of Alabama. So listen at this now. Forget his 40 time. He's going to run a 4.4 40 for you. We know he's extremely physical. He want to hit, all right? He want to lay hands on you. Sometimes you get in a little trouble with being over-aggressive. But that's okay with me, Vincent. Just don't be soft, right? Because we know if you're going to be a real corner, you got to lay hands on that receiver at the line of scrimmage. I've been talking about this for years with you, right?
Yes,
we got to lay hands on him. All right. And then we can pray for him later. But we're going to lay hands on him in the game. Right. All right. So listen at this. This guy has played against the best talent. I'm not talking about the SEC. I'm talking about Alabama. Let's think about who he had to work against in practice the last 4 years. On the offensive side of the ball. Right now, in practice, he deal with John Mechie. And in my opinion, the best receiver in the country, Mr. Jameson Williams, he's dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, competing with those guys on a day-to-day basis. As a young guy, every day, he had to compete against Jerry Jeudy. He had to compete with Devontae Smith. He had to compete with Henry Ruggs III. And he had to compete with Jalen Waddle every day. Bruh, you don't get no better competition than that. It brought me back during the time when I was at Florida State, Vincent, practicing against Jackie Flowers. He was a great one in our era. Jackie Flowers, 6'2", 200 pounds, physical, route runner, great hands. Every day I had to line up against him, 1-on-1, 7-on-7, 2-minute drill. And he was from Jayville. He was no joke. He was from the hood with the Rains High School. Then I had to compete against a guy, Kurt Unglaub, who was a superb route runner. I got baptized by a guy named Mike Schumer, who played with the 49ers, a superb route runner. They call him the dog. I had to compete against a guy named Dennis Shotgun McKinnon. Y'all know him. He was a star receiver for the Chicago Bears in 1985. Every day I had to compete against that talent. Hardest Johnson, Sam Platt, every day. That's how I got better. This guy practiced against first-round NFL players. Forget the SEC. We're talking about in practice now. We're talking about where the real work takes place every day. Then, in the quarterback room, he competed against Tua. He competed against Jalen Hurts. He competed against Mac Jones. He's competing against Bryce right now. Dude, what can you say? And then on the side of defense with him, it's so many of these guys, I can't even mention them all. Patrick Surtain was a starting other corner. He was on the opposite side of Patrick Surtain a year ago. Xavier McKinney, Trayvon Diggs. Bruh. So forget all that combine crap. This guy's ready to play on Sundays. And here's what I love. We can say, this he's going to be the top corner in the league, this guy. But I'll tell you one thing. It'll be a wise investment by some great team to pick this guy in the first round. Because he's going to be an NFL ball player for a long time. Josh Jobe is the man. And I'm telling you, he's prepared. He's ready for it. He's been in the NFL the last 4 years. Y'all heard them names I called, right? He's been in the NFL for the last 4 years. So I think he's ready for the step. I think he's a first-round pick by somebody if they're smart.
One thing I want to ask you about Brother Jobe. Last week he had a foot injury that is going to cause him to miss the bowl game.
Yep.
Prop is really to say in his career. You don't think that's going to technically affect him going up to the draft?
Well, here's the thing about foot injuries, Vincent. It can stop someone's career. It depends on what it is, and he's young and how he bounced back. Now, that's gonna right now. We're in the month of December. He probably won't be ready for the NFL Combine. Possibly, depending on what it is. But like I say, Vincent, his body of work speaks for itself. And I'm willing. The NFL, Vincent, when you're drafting kids, man, you are taking a risk. Because you try to put all this data in and all this information, try to figure out who's the top pick on up to who's not a pick. And that data has been wrong millions of times. It was wrong with Everson Walls. It was wrong with a lot of guys who never got drafted, who end up having Hall of Fame careers. So at the end of the day, somebody got to take the risk and take this guy. I don't think, even though he's got a foot injury, I think he'll be fine, by springtime for sure.
Bobby, we've been doing this for the last 2 years, man. And we did a lot of players when we did draft profiles. Mm-hmm. But I would say Josh Jobe is probably the one player that has struck my heart, man. Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier he grew up on the streets of Miami. Mm-hmm. He went to Christopher Columbus High School, which produced Mario Cristobal, Alex Rodriguez.
That's right.
Brian Greasy. I don't have to say no more.
That's right.
But reading this young man's story yesterday, Bobby, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was doing my prep work at the River Bend Library in Douglasville, Georgia. And when I started researching Josh Jobe, reading this story, man, brought tears to my eyes. I actually started crying Because when you look at these young men right here, you never know what they are going through.
That's right. That's right.
He's one of 8 children.
Mm-hmm.
Mother had problems. He never knew his father. His aunt adopted him and his brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wanted that kid, man.
Amen. That's right.
And they saw something in him. But this is what really sets me off, and I don't have to say no more about his production. 31 tackles this year, 2 interceptions, 6 pass defense. He defended. But why I know this kid is going to be a great player at the next level is that for him to get to Crystal Columbus, he had to ride a train and 2 buses.
Right.
It took him an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not an NFL scout. I never played the level like you have, Bobby, and experienced the things you experience in the National Football League. But if I was a team drafting and I needed a corner, I would really look at this young man right here.
Absolutely.
And then you just stated all the talent he went against.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink into our audience out there one more time. This kid aunt adopted him and his 7 brothers and sisters. His mother had problems. Y'all can read between the lines. Mm-hmm. He grew up in the streets of Miami. But as a young man, to get to school and follow his dream, he rode a train and 2 different buses, and it took him an hour and a half to get to school.
Wow.
It's nothing else to say. He's a special, special player, man. And a special human being. Mm-hmm. God was in this young man's plan.
Amen. Amen.
Ernie Davis, Syracuse, baby.
Let's go.
Bobby Butler, Florida State. That's all I have to say, brother. Your final words about Josh Jobe.
Well, like you, Vincent, man, my heart goes out to him. My heart goes out to anybody who's working hard, who's dreaming. But then when you think about his situation, how he can change his family dynamic right now.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And it's going to happen for him. I always say this: God would not bring you this far just to leave.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited about his opportunity. I'm gonna follow this young man, like I do all the great Florida players, and make sure I keep up with him. He's gonna make somebody a great player, and they're gonna be pleased to pick him up. And I hope y'all don't wait too late to draft him, because you need to put a priority on him.
Well, Bobby, my final words about Josh Jobe is very simple. Growing up in Memphis, Tennessee, in high school, there was a band that everybody loved. Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's ironic that the lead singer was from Memphis, Tennessee, Booker T. Washington High School, Maurice White. He went to glory a couple years ago.
Yes.
But they had a song called The Shining Star.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, when you wish upon a star, your dreams will take you very far. Josh Jobe is a very special player out of the University of Alabama. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. We surely appreciate it here at 100 Yards Football, and special thanks to our producer, Mr. Logan Landers.
Yes.
So, enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy some NFL football. Many blessings to the great gentleman in front of me, the 12-year vet, the guy that started the tradition at Florida State University. Not Dion, not Charlie Ward, none of them. He's on the team that got Florida State noticed, like the Cincinnati Bearcats, that's in the college football playoffs. My man, Mr. Bobby Butler. You have a great day and be blessed the rest of the weeks, and Merry Christmas.